Oh man, am I so glad we're talking about this movie. For those of you who don't know or are very new to the channel, one of the earliest videos I ever did years ago when I was still a young pup was talk about this movie, and I feel I did not do it justice because I didn't know how to communicate my thoughts on film, and I just wanted to put my opinions out into the ether somewhere. So this is kind of my redemption arc to finally come back after maybe 7 years, 6 years, to actually fully commit to talking about Forbidden Planet the way I've always intended to. Forbidden Planet. We're doing it. One of the most influential movies ever made. I know that's such a weird thing to say because nobody under the age of 20 has seen this movie. I say that loosely. Of course, a lot of people have, but I literally mean who has seen this movie. You might know people who know Robbie or know Altera or anything, but not many people know about this movie. But it's so influential because it's one of the first films of the 50s to be like, no, science fiction is about something. Everything that comes after it in terms of like the scope of science fiction, what science fiction looks like on films, a lot of it stems from Forbidden Planet. Yes, that is over exaggerating the importance of this movie, but it really comes from that. I really mean that. There's so much about this movie that took its tone seriously, that made its characters actually feel emotions and try things. You don't do this that much in the 50s, so when this came out, it was a big deal. And to me, it's still a big deal. It's one of my favorite science fiction films, and I'm always hesitant to come back to talk about it because I just don't know how to encapsulate my thoughts and feelings on Forbidden Planet. But it's that time of year, I'm feeling nostalgic. I came back to revisit it. Just one night, I just needed to go back to that world, and oh, am I so glad I did. I love this movie. It has one of my favorite aesthetics of any film. Is this a remaster? I saw it on TCM. I think this is a remastered style of it. It just popped so much more than the last time I remember it. The colors just look so beautiful. Cinematography just looks so beautiful. I love this kind of like aesthetic of the future where everything is just like these stupid big rooms and everything's kind of like circular and ovular and everything. It looks great. It has one of my favorite depictions of a compass, which is just, here's a spaceship in the middle of the sphere, and if we're tilting it, the spaceship inside the sphere that's inside our spaceship tilts down, and it acts as like a compass to show you like our level. I don't know why, I just think that design is so stupid, but it works so well. It's so unique. And that's what I love about this movie. The humans are the most alien thing in it because they drive like a weird circular shaped like spaceship, and they show up on this planet because they're here to help people that are stranded, and it goes into like this really classic Twilight Zone-y, Star Trek-y identity before either of those things really premiered. It's so unique, and I just love it so much. So let's get into a little bit of what Forbidden Planet's about. Like I said, we see like this old school spaceship. It literally looks like the oval shaped classic thing you've seen like Kang and Kodos that are flying in The Simpsons. It's got the weird points on the top. They have the sphere with the ship inside it as their compass. They land on this planet because, oh, there might be signs of life down here that are human. We have to go save them for the Galactic, whatever we're a part of. What I love about this, it's that it's just a bunch of just like workman dudes in the worst costumes ever. When we talk about old school science fiction movies like this, I always like to highlight how precise those outfits look. Forbidden Planet, one of the worst in my opinion. It just looks like big, dumb postman, mailman outfits that are so stupid and ugly. Just gray with stupid flaps everywhere. I don't like that. I do like the actors we got in here, though. We kind of got like three lead men on the ship. We got Lieutenant Fairman, who is kind of just horny. We have Dr. Oslo, who's kind of like, he's doing his own thing, kind of smart. And we got Leslie Nielsen as Commander Adams, who is unrecognizable because his career started later when he was an older man. And you're like, yeah, he looks so young here. You can't even recognize it's him. But he's so great in this, and it's so fun to see him. They're kind of our leads. They touch down on this planet, beautiful aesthetics, like a green atmosphere that looks beautiful and so perfect. And then this weird robot on this weird platform moving machine comes in, offers to take him somewhere. And I guess that leads us into one of the most important aspects of this movie, the most timeless thing about this movie, the creation of Robbie the Robot, a character who has appeared in more than just Forbidden Planet. These characters haven't, but Robbie has appeared in other movies. He's appeared in another movie we talked about on Movie Tales. He's appeared in Looney Tunes. He appeared in a movie a year after this I cannot remember the name of. The design is perfect. A big, bulky suit where the legs just move quickly and slowly at the same time. The arms are jabbed out like front with like three fingers. And it looks like he has eyes on the side of his head, but they're not eyes. And he can do so many things. He knows a lot of different languages. He's got a big bulbous head that he can use to like not shoot people, absorb electricity, and create matter. And that leads to various ideas. There's one stupid, I guess, cook on the ship who asks for a bunch of whiskey, and he gets 30 or 60 liters of whiskey, I think, because Robbie just makes it, and it's so cool. But Robbie is a creation from Dr. Morbius. That's right, this is the first time we're talking about a Morbius on this channel. Yeah, this guy's name is literally Morbius, spelt the same way as the Morbius you know. Do you think it got from any inspiration from this? Probably. And Morbius is this weird scientist who was the kind of like the last remaining guy from his weird like experiments of this planet. He's like some weird biology guy studying like the surface of this place, and he's clearly hiding something the minute he shows up and these guys start to talk to him. Because one, he also has a daughter named Altera, who leads to like I think the most problematic area of this movie, which is the whole relationship of one female character who maybe is 16 or 18. They don't specify, but it's 56. We'll let it slide. I'm guessing the actress is old enough to be in this position, but they imply multiple times that a lot of people on board the ship just kiss her. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't hold up. But still, it's weird because Adams falls in love with her. And it's like, why would that happen? He seems like he's supposed to be the good guy, but he does the exact same thing every other guy does. Because Farman's like the first one to kind of want to like be with her. And she's like, this is weird. Why are we kissing like this? I don't think this is normal. Maybe I need something better. And it's like, okay, that's weird. It's the worst part of the movie. But it leads to a lot of classically inspired sci-fi designs for her. For some reason, they don't have her wear a lot of shoes when she's in the house, and she wears a lot of short skirts. But it's got like that classic science-y, fiction-y feel with like her dresses and her colors, and she's wearing like certain outfits with like the big diamond necklace, and she can use a whistle to control animals and stuff. And it's like, how do the animals get there? Doesn't matter. But there's tigers, real tigers in here, a monkey in here. It's so bizarre, but you just love to see it. And it just, you're like, okay, so she's the daughter of Morbius. Morbius is the last surviving guy of his crew. He married somebody who's on his ship. He's doing experiments. He's happy here, clearly hiding something. Oh, wait, as the story progresses, just looks like, maybe there's another ancient alien race that used to live here. Uh-oh, what does that mean? It's so cool. And this is where it gets very science fiction-y, in over your head kind of stuff as everything goes further. So we'll get into this very briefly, because I really think there's so much that you can explore just from watching this movie. As simple as it is, it's just people talking, but there's also actions that are happening. There is this weird thing called the Krell, who were like the race that lived there before. They had different technologies to us, including like this weird apparatus you can strap to your brain to measure your intelligence. But when you do that, it takes all of your certain emotions and it creates like a negative energy from it. And then the people of this planet were hunted by this negative creation, this invisible monster that is created from Dr. Morbius's own insecurity and anger being manifested into this thing. And it becomes a creature flick where we're fighting an invisible creature, which is a brilliant way to do it because you save money on that and we can do practical effects. I love the way they fire guns in this movie, just sticking your arm out and never firing. You don't actually have like a trigger mechanism, you just hold it out. Laser shows up later in post and it looks great. And then we have like the fossilized footprint of a big creature that doesn't match anything that's ever existed in the human identity of what a creature could be. And it looks really cool. And because you do that, you already have this idea we don't really need to see the creature. We are already implying what the creature is going to look like. All we do see is when we put up our weird laser field grid that nobody can get through, is that there's the outline of a creature we keep shooting lasers at that is just red laser lines with an angry face. And it looks really good because Dr. Morbius isn't the best guy. He's not like the bad guy per se, but his own mental issues create the bad guy. And that's a really cool concept that is so science fiction-y, and you understand how later science fiction or horror tropes stem from this thing of like accidentally creating the monster and that kind of stuff. And oh, does it look good? Does it just play so well? And the way they have to like try to fight it and how they beat it, and just like the way they use practical effects to show like the monster entering their spaceship with the platforms or the stairs, stepping down, breaking through the walls, breaking through the curtains, like everything like that. It looks so good. It's taking a stupid concept, an invisible monster that is created by a doctor's psychic powers, and it's just scary because you don't see it, but just see it breaking through things. It's cool, and it's great, and this leads to so many interesting ideas and fun stuff, and that's just what I love about this movie. You have every single beat working. A cool robot with some quippy remarks, making liquor, lifting 10 tons of stuff, a beautiful girl who does have some agency, not a lot, but she does get moments to shine with some beautiful outfits. You have a commander who is just so nonchalant about all of his crew dying until they have to leave the planet, and they blow up the forbidden planet. They literally just blow it up and they just head on their way, and everyone's better off for it. It's insane, and it just works so well. And everything about it just looks vibrant and beautiful and colorful, and the skies are great. This movie has one of my favorite posters of all time. I'll put it up for you to see here. I have this sitting in my room. I need to frame it because it looks great. I love this poster. This is what classic science fiction is to me. It's these really silly ideas of people in stupid outfits and sometimes great outfits dealing with human emotions and feelings, and then you add in a stupid element of like man's own demise at the hands of their stupidity, their need to learn and be better, and then that's what destroys them. It's that kind of science fiction thing that I love to see, and Forbidden Planet does it better than anybody with great effects, great writing. A young Leslie Nielsen and Walter Pidgeon as Dr. Morbius is so sleeperly good. He is just walking through this perfectly. And I tells ya, name a more iconic robot from this generation than Robbie. I would say Robbie's the most iconic robot, but I'm different than a lot of people because I've seen this movie more than once, more than twice. Who has? Maybe just me, you know? But Forbidden Planet, I'm telling you, I promise to you, there is something brilliant about this production, and I encourage a lot of people to check it out. It is so fun. And I feel like I'm missing so many beats, but I don't know how much longer we can talk about this. It is just a perfect movie with so many great things to look at and do. I think you could do this exact movie, but you gender swap every character, and that's a really cool idea to explore. It's great. Altera, interesting. We could do that better, but she's still great. She still has her moments and still fun to see her. And she has great chemistry with Commander Adams. So thank you everybody for watching this episode of Galactic Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Hive, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.